Be honest with me. Have you ever made a life-changing decisions based on laws that have not been finalized yet? If you're an expert living in Italy or planning to move to Italy, the answer might be closer to yes than you realize. Every year, residents, entrepreneurs, professionals from all around the world, they pin their hopes on draft laws, only to discover that the official legislation of the lack thereof, leaves them in an entirely different position. But how does the lawmaking process in Italy work, and why is it so risky to act like that? The biggest problem is jumping the gun. Let's meet Luca, a very ambitious software engineer from the UK, who had always dreamed of moving to Italy to start his tech business. Early in 2023, he came across a draft law that it's called Disegno di Legge, offering significant tax incentives for startups in southern Italy. Very excited. He quickly relocated, right away, leased office space and began operations, so started making money. Months later, the law stalled in the process discussion. And by the time the legislation reached the Gazzetta Ufficiale, the official report gazette, where the laws are published to become effective, its provisions have been significantly different from the first draft, limiting incentives to businesses in specific industries, not including tech. So Luca was left with mounting expenses and no tax relief. His story shows why understanding the process of the law making here in Italy is essential. So, how does a draft law move from an idea or a concept to a real legislation, and when you can trust it? The process here in Italy is pretty straightforward and strict, in my personal experience, in my personal opinion. They start from the Disegno di Legge, the draft law. This is a starting point, an idea of a new legislation. It could originate from the members of the parliament, the government, or even citizens' initiatives. But at this stage, the draft is nothing more than a proposal, a piece of paper, if you want. Then we have the parliament debate. The draft now moves into the two chambers of the parliament, the chamber and the Senato. Here it undergoes discussions, amendments, adjustments, and voting. And then, last stage, approval. For the law to pass, both chambers must approve the same text, and this often involves significant changes from the original proposal. And now, the final stage is the prudential signing. Once approved, the Presidente della Repubblica must sign the law, and finally, the law is then published in the Gazzetta Ufficiale, making its official entry in force. Implementation timelines vary. Some laws take, effect immediately. Some others, they relate to a future date. What's the common mistake? People trust drafts too soon. One of the most common mistakes experts make is assuming that a draft law initial provisions will remain intact throughout the whole process. But draft laws are subject to, negotiation, adjustments, often resulting in changes. And in some cases, the draft may not even pass. Consider another example. Maria, French, retired from work. She heard about a proposed law offering tax exemptions for people retired from work moving to certain areas of Italy. But without verifying its status requirements, she sold her home in France and relocated to Abruzzo right away, without even checking the requirements. And unfortunately, weeks later, the law has delayed it due to budget reasons, leaving Maria with unexpected tax liabilities and big regret. There is a big difference between what people believe and what the reality is. Many people believe that a disegno di legge, quote unquote, guarantees, changes in the law right away. Social media and really poor informed online articles often fuel this misconception, presenting draft laws as though they were reading a fact, because they offer like clickbait titles. And this belief leads to bad decisions that can have severe financial and legal consequences for people. The truth is, unless and until a law is published in the Gazzetta Ufficiale, so listen carefully, its provisions are not enforceable. And even after publication, specific implementation details may require further administrative decrees and guidelines. So therefore, acting based solely on a draft is not only risky, but often unnecessary. So how to avoid that? Here's some tips from Paolo Rigo. Number 1, track the law's progress. Check the status of the draft through official channels, such as the permanent website, our YouTube channel, and understand where a draft is the process to be authorized, or you're just, talking about the draft only. Stage number 2, seek and talk with some expert in the matter. Engage professionals who specialize in the Italian law and taxes to see and read proposed legislation and its potential impact on a specific situation and the timing of possibly when this law could come into play. And wait, this is the biggest one. Wait for certainty. Postpone major decisions until the law is 1000% finalized and published in the Gazzetta Ufficiale. If time sensitive, considering alternative plans. Our law process creating issues for everyone is both throughout our bad habit here in Italy to make everything more complicated, but at the same time is unfortunately very unpredictable. While draft laws often highlight exciting possibilities, they are not guarantees. Acting on a disegno di legge, as I said before it's finalized, can lead to financial loss, legal complications, and definitely crushed expectations. If you're not sure about navigating these complexities, always seek professional, serious advice from professionals who can provide clarity and guidance. And after all, building your future in Italy deserves a foundation as solid as our country's architecture, not the shifting sands of pure drafts.
At studiorigo, we provide world-class tax and financial guidance for expats and international professionals in Italy. We don't just help you stay compliant, we craft strategic tax solutions tailored to high-level individuals who demand precision and expertise. If you are serious about optimizing your tax position, visit our website or connect with us on social media. We work with those who value excellence, and we look forward to assisting you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.